All right, back for another beer review, and today I'm reviewing a beer from the Finback Brewery, and they are out of Queens, New York, and this is their Split the Night. So this is an American porter that is brewed with coffee, comes in at 6.4% alcohol by volume, and no IBUs listed, and at the time of review, this is approximately 8.5 months old. So a few things about Finback. Number one, this is the first beer from Finback that I am reviewing on the channel. It isn't the first beer I've had from them. I've had a couple of their offerings, and they make a really tasty beer, at least from the ones that I've had. And as far as distribution goes for Finback in the Western New York area, it's very, very limited. When it comes to Finback, they usually show up in kegs, so you can get it on draft. But if you do see packaged beers of Finback in the area, typically that means a local bottle shop or craft beer bar went downstate and picked up beers either from Finback or say from the Hudson Valley region, New York City, and brought them back to sell them in their store or bar. And that just so happens to be the way I got this one. So Aurora Brew Works in East Aurora, New York, which is about 30 minutes to the east of Buffalo, they went downstate back in the spring. I think I picked this up, I want to say March. It was around March. And yeah, I grabbed a whole bunch of goodies from them. And this was before I started my channel, and I wanted to drink all my IPAs fresh, regardless if I have a channel or not. I usually drink my IPAs first and then, move on. So I threw this in the fridge, and I kind of forgot about it until about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I still have that one. Should I review it? It's an older coffee beer. And I said, fuck it, we're going to review it. So here we are. So I don't know much about this beer outside of the fact that they call this a coffee porter. On Untappd, they say that this is made with All Saints coffee from Bushwick. What does that mean? I really don't know. I know Bushwick. I'm pretty sure Bushwick is a neighborhood in Brooklyn. So maybe All Saints Coffee is a local roaster there. If anybody has any information on that, I'd appreciate it if you maybe throw it in the comments and let me know, because I have no idea. But yeah, so this is American Porter brewed with coffee. That's all I know about it. 6.4%. It's Finback. First review from them. Cracking it open. And we're going to pour it. We're going to have a great time. So this beer is basically close to room temperature. So I don't hear any shit, Paul. I always mention Paul for the room temperature, but he always goes nuts about it, and I just got to tell him that, sometimes these are room temperatures, so he knows. Now, this did not pour out like this super deep, dark color. Anyway, this is a very dark brown. There's some ruby red hints at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it looks more like a porter than a stout. When I was pouring it out, it didn't look super viscous, but it's only 6.4%. This is not a double or imperial porter or like a imperial stout or anything. It has about a finger of a mocha-colored head. Looked very creamy when I first poured the head, and it still does, but it dissipated quite a bit. Some bigger bubbles mixed in with little bubbles. It plays the role. Let's get a nose. That coffee's still there. It's not huge, and again, I haven't had this fresh, so I couldn't tell you if the coffee, the nose, at least when it comes to the nose, because I haven't tasted it yet, but if the coffee is very pungent and boisterous and bold. But on the nose right now, it's there. It smells like a slightly acidic coffee. There's definitely some dark fruits in here, like raisiny, almost plum notes, dark cherry, a melange of different chocolates, milk chocolate, dark chocolate. It has more of a bittering aspect on the nose from the chocolate. It doesn't smell overly sweet or anything. An undertone of like a roasted malt character. Maybe a touch of vanilla. It doesn't smell like a coffee bomb. And again, at 8.5 months old, I wouldn't expect it to, but it does still have a nice coffee nose. There is still some pungency to the coffee, which is nice to see. Maybe a little bit of like caramel and toffee underneath. You know what? It smells pretty good. It smells like a very well-balanced coffee porter. The coffee is the star of the show, but it's not too big on the nose. So let's see what we have in the taste. Cheers, everyone. The mouthfeel on this one is very, very nice. Soft, smooth, almost creamy, almost has a lactose vibe to it. I don't think there's any lactose in here, but almost has like a cold brew coffee to the mouthfeel, but also the taste. But the mouthfeel almost has like a cold brew coffee taste to it. First off, this beer does not have a lot of bitterness to it. Right up front, you're hit with a lot of different sweet characters. There's the dark fruits, like a dark cherry, a raisin, a plum thing going on. As it passes through the palate, more of that milk chocolate and dark chocolate intertwined with the dark fruit. Almost get like a chocolate covered raisin. You know, I mean, it's like a raisinette. a little bit of caramel toffee, a little bit of roasted malt. The coffee is omnipresent, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's like the predominant note. It's there, but it's just like mixing in with the rest of the flavors, which is why I'm saying it's more of a cold brew coffee. It still has the character of the coffee there, but it's like a sweeter cold brew coffee with, say, cream. I don't think there's lactose in it, but it just feels like there is based on the mouthfeel and based on the taste. No alcohol to speak of. Obviously, at 6.4, I wasn't expecting it. It finishes just like even. It doesn't finish dry, doesn't finish sweet, just has a nice balance between the two. Like I said, the mouthfeel, creamy, soft, smooth. The body on this is like straight up medium body. It's not, again, I wasn't expecting some big viscous body to this one, so it's appropriate. This is actually fucking really tasty, honestly. I'm kind of surprised how good this is considering the age. Yeah, there's not much more to say about this one. It really has a nice balance overall to basically all the characters. You're getting the coffee, you're getting dark fruits, you're getting chocolate, caramel, toffee. It doesn't finish too dry, too sweet. There's not a lot of bitterness to speak of. A nice soft mouthfeel to this one. Body is just straight up medium, which is appropriate. I'm digging this one quite a bit. Fresh, I'd imagine that coffee kind of shines and screams and is in your face. But aged, if you somehow can get if you see a can of this on the shelves or in a cooler somewhere, grab it. I think you would like this. Even with the coffee faded, or I think it's faded. Again, didn't have this fresh. This is still real tasty. So I'm going to give Split the Night from the Finback Brewery a solid 4.25 out of 5. This is a tasty beer. I'm going to have no problem finishing the rest of this off. And yeah, man, I could probably session 2 or 3 of these, I think, just because it's not overly sweet or overly dry or overly bitter. The best thing I can say about this beer, it is nicely balanced. That's what it is, very cohesive and balanced. So that was Finback Brewery's Split the Night. It's a 4.25 out of 5. Appreciate you guys stopping by for another review here on the Beer Patrol. And until next time, cheers.